Hey there, I'm William.
I'm David.
And I'm Audrey.
And we are Walterhoope. And you're listening to Wellspring Podcast, brought to you by Walterhoope, a Cincinnati performing arts company.
I'm going to be real with you. This was a monster of a project for us, and a lot of people volunteered a lot of time to bring this to life.
So if you like this podcast, please know that this took a lot of work to do. We are a small company. Please share it with your friends. You can't imagine how much that means to us. And if you really love it, donate at our website, walterhoope.com.
So, without further ado...
Date 9/2022, time 15:03, location 40.590 degrees by -85.706, investigation Wellspring, interview subject Thera Bertaux. Hello? Hello? Does Thera live here? May I please speak with Thera Bertaux? I have questions about the incident at Wellspring. I have money. I can pay you for your time. I've come a very long way to speak with you, and I'm not leaving until I do. I know you helped plan the uprising at Wellspring, and I need to talk to you.
Who do you think you are, coming on my property, spouting such nonsense?
Perhaps we would have more privacy inside.
Bah! You stubborn journalist, kino rot in ground. Come in, but make it brief. See, you've upset Gemini!
I promise, I won't take up much of your time.
No, you won't.
May I sit?
I thought this was to be short.
It is.
Then there is no reason to sit.
Fine. Do you mind if I record our conversation?
Meh. Go ahead. Nothing new will come of this.
I'd like to start with the Katoi Kea.
Start wherever you like. The ending will be same.
First, would you please state your name?
Thera Bertaux.
Thera, what was your job on the Kea?
Chief Physician.
Is that something you'd always wanted to do? You must remember the Red epidemic quite well.
Are you attempting to prove to me your knowledge? You believe this will make me what? Respect you more.
Your parents were responsible for creating the vaccine, yes? I imagine communicable diseases spread fairly quickly with everyone breathing the same oxygen.
Yes.
Would you say that the Katoi people were generally in good health upon arrival?
We had patients in the infirmary, but no more than usual.
You were not in the midst of any epidemic of any sort?
No.
My sources tell me that you continued practicing medicine after your arrival on Trappist, that is, in the facility.
For a brief period, yes. In the beginning, they were afraid we carried disease. Trappist doctors would not even look our people in the eyes.
What sort of tasks would you perform?
Everything. They simply observed.
When you say everything, you mean...
Everything, from dressing wounds to the common cold.
Did you deliver any babies during that time?
What are you getting at with these questions?
Just context for the interview.
You say you are a journalist?
That's right.
This means you will use this interview to write article?
Well, yes.
And the subject of your article, what is your angle?
Honestly, I'm trying to determine exactly what types of procedures took place behind Wellspring walls.
What did you think would come of this? More trials, more convictions. For what? World peace?
My parents died that night during the uprising.
Your parents were
scientists at the facility.
I see. So you want to what? Clear your family name? Atone for their sins?
I just want to know the truth.
You want to know if your parents were murderers?
No, the trials were a sham. Wellspring got a slap on the wrist and then they were back in business.
Yes, but the Katoi are no longer being detained. I call that a success.
Why are you defending me?
Excuse me.
Can I get you anything?
No, I must put on tea. Medicinal.
You have asperitis.
I am Katoi, aren't I?
What do you mean?
All Katoi have the disease in some form.
And why do you think that is?
Our lungs could not handle Trappist air.
You really believe that?
Yes.
Max didn't have it.
Max?
Yes, he was the interpreter at Wellspring.
Ah, yes. The potato farmer.
Potato farmer?
This was his job on the Katoi Kea. What? He didn't tell you?
If Katoi lungs are to blame, why wasn't he sick?
Are you certain that he was not?
I mean, he didn't... He said he wasn't.
Max has always so desperately wanted to be one of them.
If you don't mind me asking, how long have you had it?
Aspiratus? I was diagnosed 15 years ago. How long exactly have I been afflicted? Difficult to say.
In transcripts from the trials, I noticed you made very harsh claims concerning the types of procedures performed at the facility. You even went as far as to predict long-term side effects. Do you think your current condition could be related to those procedures performed at Wellspring?
No.
You spoke of injections and IVs, and were among the first to undergo testing at the facility. You don't find it odd that you were also the first to show signs of asperitis? You do understand I'm trying to help you, right?
Are you a doctor?
No, but...
Then you are no help to me.
Thera, I have spent years studying the trials, reading transcripts, watching interviews, all of this, everything that's happened. You predicted 20 years ago the prejudice, the persecution, the disease. They killed your people. They held you prisoner and treated you like science experiments. You led the insurrection. Thera, what are you not telling me?
You think you know my suffering. You think you understand my people. Yes, we were treated poorly at the facility. Your government was scared and acted from fear. But let me be clear. We did not know hatred. We did not know persecution until we were free from Wellspring walls.
I understand that you were treated poorly by Trappists. Thera, that's exactly why I'm trying to help. I want to prove that your people are no different from mine.
And so what if they are? You want to prove that the Katoi are the same as the Trappist, as if being Trappist is some benchmark of being. And if we are different, what then? Does that make us somehow lesser than?
No, that's not what I... Not all Trappists are evil, Thera.
So I should ignore the ones who are. You talk of kindness, as if it's something to be rewarded. I'm sorry, but not being evil is minimum you have to offer me. You have it all wrong. Wellspring is not the problem. It's the rest of Trappist. Wellspring gives me a place to live, provides me food.
Wait, this domum is Wellspring?
This whole village is Wellspring.
You trust them?
I had aspiritis. Your people would give me no jobs, would not even let me into their hospitals. I went where they would take me in. Wellspring saved my life.
After they destroyed it.
You have asked your questions. Are we done?
If Wellspring was so great, why did you sneak the child out that night?
Who told you this? Max.
Answer the question.
I want to keep her safe. She was the only Katoi born at Wellspring. If the public knew, if Wellspring knew, her life would be in a serious danger.
Wellspring did know.
What?
You said if Wellspring knew, then she would be in danger. You met with Ford that night, so Wellspring had to have known.
No, Ford was the only one who knew, and he took it to his grave.
A baby is born at the facility, and he's the only one to know? How is that possible? She was 3.
The government gave Ford full reign over Wellspring. They paid close attention to the numbers and records, but they did not visit themselves often. And what is true about Ford, if it was not already clear, is that he did not always play by rules. What he really wanted was to get rid of the child permanently, but Corey and I had, leverage.
What kind of leverage? Thera, what kind of leverage? Oh, I see. You had information about the uprising.
As you shouted so eloquently from my doorstep, I was on the inside. She was like a sister to me, Corey. So, when I got word that Ford planned on exterminating the child, I couldn't let him do it.
You were there that night to strike a deal. To turn your people in?
Yes, but
Something went wrong.
it turns out that I did not have all of the information.
I'm sorry. I mean, no offense, but you were willing to jeopardize your entire operation and potentially the lives of your people for the protection of one baby. I'm sorry, I just don't get it.
She was innocent. She had yet to be tested or microchipped. She was untouched. And to have one of our own live a Trappist life in this new world felt like, I don't know, success, like our ancestors' efforts were not in vain. You say I jeopardized the lives of my people, but she was only hope for us in my mind.
She was untouched.
Yes?
So if someone was to find her, and she did in fact have asperitis, it would prove that the disease was naturally caused, that Katoi lungs were inadequate against Trappist air.
One could make that argument, yes.
But if she didn't have asperitis, the only Katoi never to be touched by Wellspring, it could be the evidence we need to link the disease with the procedures performed at the facility.
You will not find her.
And why is that?
I left her with the family who put her in Trappist foster system. She could be dead for all I know. Please, bring me, pour me some tea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
They arrive tomorrow with more medicine. Tea helps.
Medicine? What kind of medicine? Have they discovered a new form of treatment?
They have.
But it's not available to the general public. And you don't find it odd that Wellspring just happens to be the only ones administering treatments? Is it curable?
I do not know.
Yes, you do. You're a doctor. In your professional opinion, is there a cure? Then why are people dying? Why are you dying? Is that why you came back? You knew Wellspring was your only chance at beating asperitis. Thera, can't you see you're a prisoner here?
I am no prisoner.
How is this any different from the facility? My parents were a cog in a horrific machine. But the problem is way bigger than them, and it's still a problem. It's bigger than me, it's bigger than you. I want to do my part to find a solution. Help me find a solution. Thera, you can trust me. What was that song you were singing?
Song?
While you were making the tea.
Oh, was I singing the Nova Vida? Old tea-making habit.
My mother used to sing that to me when I was a baby.
Your mother.
It's one of my only memories of her.
Impossible.
No, she did, see? I don't remember the words, but she learned it from your people. Thera, my parents didn't hate you, and And neither do I. If we can expose Wellspring for what it really is, then everyone with asperitis could be treated. You could be cured.
How old are you?
23.
You say your parents died in the facility.
That's right, the night of the incident.
Who told you this? Relatives?
No, I have no living relatives.
I see. If you'll excuse me, it's time I let Jim and I out back.
Oh, no, you don't have to get up. I'm sure I can do it.
Oh, no. Jim and I has trust issues. Wouldn't want you to lose a finger. Please, help yourself to some tea. The one in the small canister there is non-medicinal. Come, Jim and I. Let's go out. I wish I could help you, child. Unfortunately, there is nothing to be done. You are correct when you say that the problem is bigger than you and me both. You see, Wellspring is controlled by government. It always has been. You think you can win a war against the government?
They're letting people die.
Let's say you find her. She doesn't have asperitis, and you have that evidence you are so desperately seeking. What then? You will write your article?
Well, I'll expose them. I'll go to every journal, every news channel on Bitwave and radio, and I'll let the world know the truth.
And you expect the world to believe you?
How could they not?
Oh, this world is very good at not believing.
But I'll have indisputable evidence.
Indisputable? There are no records of this child. You've now spoken to the only people who even know of her existence.
Well, I have everything here. I've recorded everything.
People will wonder why we've waited until now to speak up. She is undocumented. No one will believe she is Katoi.
Surely there has to be some other way of differentiating between a Katoi and a Trappist. We could find her and scan her DNA.
Trappist scientists have been tinkering with Katoi DNA for years to find a difference. We are remarkably more similar than anyone thought possible. How's the team?
Very good, thank you.
I'm sorry, dear. There is nothing to be done.
So that's it. Have you heard from the mother since the incident? The mother of the child. I'm sorry, I'm just a little lightheaded all of a sudden. Do you have any ideas as to where the child's mother might be?
Unfortunately, no. Gore is a difficult person to keep tabs on. She is always moving and can very much take care of herself. She's a masterful engineer, you know, and the strongest person I have ever known.
Did you know the father?
I did not. Corey refused to tell, probably for his own safety.
Is there any other person who knew about the baby besides those of you in the room that night?
No, we were the only ones.
Wow, this tea is
strong.
That's yeah, extremely.
We Katoi take our tea very seriously. On the ship, we had an entire greenhouse dedicated to tea.
Well, I'm sorry, but do you have a latronum?
Down the hall to the left. Your bag. Give me your bag.
My bag? Why do you need my...
I'm so sorry, child. Your mother would have been so proud. Forgive me, Uriah.
Berea?
here.
How long has she been out?
She has about half an hour.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get her to the HC.
I did what you asked. I brought you the girl.
Code 99
I found
confirmed.
her.
We're bringing her in.
Please don't hurt her.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
What about my reward?
If she is who you say she is, you'll get your medicine. Hell, you can have it all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Did she have anything with her? A wallet, a purse?
Oh, she had nothing.
Did she take public transportation to get here, or did she ground an HC nearby?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Beret. Our people will be in touch. Oh, and if Corey tries to contact you, I'm sure you'll let us know.
Wellspring was created and produced by Walterhoope in Cincinnati, Ohio. This episode was written by William Vaughan, with performances by Audrey Bertaux, Allyson West, and William Vaughan. Dialect coaching by Teresa Spencer. Music by Dylan Oseas, and intro theme by Dylan Oseas and Peter Foley. Additional sound design by David Mavricos and William Vaughan. Editing and mastering by David Mavricos and Kaleel Skeirik. Special thanks to Peter Foley and Walterhoope's resident artists, Kelsey Nihiser, Teresa Spencer, and Kristen St. Clair. Wellspring is a Walterhoope production.